Chapter 17. Ravens feed Elijah. Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the foreigners of Gilead, said to Ahab, "As Yahweh, the God of Israel, lives, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, but according to my word." The word of Yahweh came to him, saying,
"Go away from here, turn eastward, and hide yourself by the brook Cherith, that is before the Jordan. It shall be that you shall drink of the brook. I have commanded the ravens to feed you there."
So he went, and did according to the word of Yahweh. For he went and lived by the brook Cherith, that is before the Jordan. The ravens brought him bread and flesh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the evening. And he drank of the brook. It happened after a while that the brook dried up, because there was no rain in the land. The Widow of Zarephath. The word of Yahweh came to him, saying,
"Arise, go to Zarephath, which belongs to Sidon, and stay there. Behold, I have commanded a widow there to sustain you."
So he arose and went to Zarephath. And when he came to the gate of the city, behold, a widow was there gathering sticks. And he called to her, and said, "Please, get me a little water in a vessel, that I may drink." As she was going to get it, he called to her, and said, "Please bring me a morsel of bread in your hand." She said, "As Yahweh your God lives, I don't have a cake, but a handful of meal in the jar, and a little oil in the jar. Behold, I'm gathering 2 sticks, that I may go in and bake it for me and my son, that we may eat it and die." Elijah said to her, "Don't be afraid. Go and do as you have said, but make me of it a little cake first, and bring it out to me, and afterward make some for you and for your son. For thus says Yahweh, the God of Israel, the jar of meal shall not empty, neither shall the jar of oil fail, until the day that Yahweh sends rain on the earth." She went and did according to the saying of Elijah, and she and he and her house ate many days. The jar of meal didn't empty, neither did the jar of oil fail, according to the word of Yahweh, which he spoke by Elijah. Elijah raises the widow's son. It happened after these things that the son of the woman, the mistress of the house, fell sick. And his sickness was so severe that there was no breath left in him. She said to Elijah, "What have I to do with you, you man of God? You have come to me to bring my sin to memory and to kill my son?" He said to her, "Give me your son." He took him out of her bosom, and carried him up into the room where he stayed, and laid him on his own bed. He cried to Yahweh, and said, "Yahweh, my God, have you also brought evil on the widow with whom I stay, by killing her son?" He stretched himself on the child 3 times, and cried to Yahweh, and said, "Yahweh, my God, please let this child's soul come into him again." Yahweh listened to the voice of Elijah, and the soul of the child came into him again, and he revived. Elijah took the child, and brought him down out of the room into the house, and delivered him to his mother. And Elijah said, "Behold, your son lives." The woman said to Elijah, "Now I know that you are a man of God, and that the word of Yahweh in your mouth is truth."